During his Senate confirmation hearing for Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. pushed back against accusations that he is a conspiracy theorist, arguing that the term is used to discredit those who challenge powerful interests. In a heated exchange with Senator Tom Tillis, Kennedy defended his history of questioning mainstream narratives, citing instances where his once controversial claims were later validated.
I believe, addressed to my satisfaction a question about Title 10 and the president's priority with respect to Planned Parenthood. Can you just affirm that you are 100% behind the president's policy on Title 10 and the 100% behind it? Thank you. It's amazing to me that people. Well, first off, you need to understand I was in a judiciary hearing this morning. It's very clear to me that some of these nominations are going to be shirts and skins. So no matter what you answer in the affirmative, they're going to ask you one more question so that you won't be able to answer in the affirmative. That's just the way the game gets played when we have nominees like yourself. So I think you're handling yourself well. I got a real quick question for you. Are you a conspiracy theorist?
That is a pejorative, Senator, that's applied to me. Mainly to keep me from asking difficult questions of powerful interest. I was told that I was a conspiracy theorist. That label was applied to me because I said that the COVID vaccine, didn't prevent transmission and it wouldn't prevent infection. When the government was telling people, Americans, that it would. I was saying that because I was looking at the monkey studies in May of 2020. I was called a conspiracy. Now everybody admits it. I was called a conspiracy theorist because I said red dye caused cancer. And now FDA has acknowledged that and banned it. I was called a conspiracy theorist because I said fluoride lowered IQ. Last week, JAMA published a meta-review of 87 studies saying that there's a direct inverse correlation between IQ loss.
All right. So I'm going to assume. Is there any one of them that you can say, you got me? That really was a conspiracy theory? Or are you in a position to submit for the record? I think it'd just be helpful for every one of these narratives for you to submit that maybe for the record.
That is a pejorative, Senator. That's applied to me mainly to keep me from asking difficult questions of powerful interests, Kennedy stated. He referenced his early skepticism about the COVID-19 vaccine's ability to prevent transmission, claims that were initially dismissed but later acknowledged by health officials. He also pointed to concerns about red dye and fluoride exposure, which he says were initially ridiculed but have since been supported by regulatory changes and scientific studies. Kennedy's nomination has been met with sharp criticism from political opponents and the scientific community. Representative Robert Garcia denounced the appointment as insane, citing Kennedy's controversial views on vaccines. Additionally, 77 Nobel laureates signed a letter urging the Senate to reject his confirmation, arguing that his promotion of what they call conspiracy theories undermines public trust in health institutions. Despite the pushback, Kennedy remained steadfast, asserting that he relies on evidence-based research. He contends that dismissing dissenting views as conspiracy theories is a tactic used to suppress scrutiny and silence debate. I was told I was a conspiracy theorist for saying the COVID vaccine wouldn't prevent transmission, Kennedy said. Now everybody admits it. The exchange between Kennedy and Tillis highlights a broader societal debate over the use of the conspiracy theorist label. Kennedy's supporters argue that the term is frequently weaponized to shut down legitimate discussions, particularly on contentious topics such as vaccine policies and environmental health. They see his stance as a defense of free speech and scientific inquiry. Critics, however, warn that Kennedy's rhetoric could erode trust in public health efforts. They argue that while skepticism is necessary in science, promoting unverified claims or challenging established medical consensus without strong evidence can be dangerous. Kennedy's confirmation process has become a flashpoint in the ongoing conflict between institutional authority and independent scrutiny. His supporters view him as a truth seeker who refuses to bow to political pressure, while opponents believe his views could have harmful consequences for public health policy. As the debate over his nomination continues, his stance on scientific dissent and public accountability remains at the center of the discussion.